Alright, finally time for another Hunger for Horror video. Excuse me, it's been several months since before Christmas, and of course I got some stuff for Christmas and have acquired other things as well. So I did just pull out my horror movies primarily for this. So there were other things that I received, but these are the horror movies. Since this is a horror channel and there's so many to go through, I just wanted to limit it to the horror movies on this go around. So let me go ahead and start off by showing you what I have. Got Color of Space, Nicolas Cage, I've heard is really good, so I haven't watched yet. Ditto Bubba Hotep, which I have not seen, heard it's really good. Dollar Tree pickup, The Snarling. So far, from what I've watched, more of a comedy than a horror movie, and kind of funny, but I don't know if I love it or not. I think I kind of like it. So I gotta kind of look at it again to make up my mind. But anyway, it was $1. Psycho 4, The Beginning. Psycho 2. And I have seen Psycho 2 and 3. 3 is coming up. I can't remember if I've seen 4 or not. But anyway, I now have the 4 Psycho movies. Finally. My mom got me this one. Glass. Which, ironically enough, I do not have Split, nor do I have Unbreakable, I think it's called. The original one. So with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. So now I feel like I need to get the other two, so I can have the whole story. And they're all good. I like all of them. So this one's also known as Satanic Panic. The version I got was cheap. Apparently they're trying to get rid of these ones that are just called Panic, which I think is ones that, I think they did this for Walmart because they didn't like the word satanic on it. So mine's just called Panic, but I got it really cheap, so. And I've heard it's decent, so. Cat People. This has been on my wish list forever. So I finally decided I was going to go ahead and get it before I can't. Because you know how Shop Factory stuff is, it goes out of print when you least expect it to. Sometimes they announce when things are going out of print, sometimes by the time I find out it's already gone and I can't get it. So next up, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which I've heard about this movie quite a bit. Haven't seen it. It's been out for years. It came out in the 80s when I was a young teenager watching all of my horror movies and stuff. A lot of movie watching. So missed this one somehow, so hopefully I enjoy this one. Good sale on that. Kino Lorber had a sale, that's where I got it. Wife got me this one for Christmas, another one off the redemption wish list. The Awful Dr. Orloff. Now I don't have anywhere near all the redemption titles, but I do have a lot of them. And that one was good. I watched that. I did enjoy it. It's in black and white, so if you can't handle black and white, you're not going to enjoy that one. But it's a really good movie. It's probably one of Jess Franco's better movies from what I've read as far as the reputation of the movie goes from other people that have seen it that are Jess Franco fans that watch his films. Decided to finally upgrade my DVD and of both of these, actually. So I finally got them both on Blu-ray, 2-pack, one movie on each disc, so no compression issues or anything, two totally separate discs. That second one is definitely hard to watch, but it is probably the most brutal, I think, of all of them, but the revenge is just as brutal as what comes before it, I think. So I personally enjoyed the second one quite a bit. I like all the I Spit on Your Grave movies, really. And speaking of that, the 2-pack that I have on DVD is of the original I Spit on Your Grave and that remake that's in that Blu-ray pack. So, upgraded the original too. So this was just released again by Ronin Films. So I know they had this big deluxe package with 4K and everything. I'm still behind the times. I'm not ready to upgrade to a Blu-ray TV, a 4K TV yet, just because my TV works fine, and I'm fine with, you know, the high definition Blu-ray. I'm not in a hurry to upgrade it. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point, but right at this moment, I'm not ready to buy another TV. So, anyway, there is I Spit on Your Grave, the original. This is another one, I think from Shout Factory sale before telling us to get these while they're still in print. I guess these are this one and one or two of the other ones that I bought in this bunch were going out of print, so that's why I got them, and because I really wanted to get them anyway. A Quiet Place in the Country, Vanessa Redgrave, Franco Nero. I've read the synopsis on the back of the box on this. Oftentimes, I know I've said I don't usually read the synopsis. In this case, I did, and it sounded really interesting, so I wanted to give it a shot. Oh, by the way, the lighting is different. I'm in a different room. The lamp that I'm using is a lamp that was actually a gift for Christmas from my parents. It's got LED bulbs in it, so it's very bright, so hopefully you can see everything well. Wicker Tree, from the makers of the Wicker Man, which I've heard mixed things about this, but I was wanting to give it a shot and judge for myself, you know, as I always do. Now, if there are any repeats in this bunch, I apologize up front, because I honestly don't remember what all I've covered in the previous ones. The next two or three I think might be repeats. If they are, I apologize. The Haunted, Dollar Tree pickup, don't know if it's any good. Awoken, Dollar Tree pickup, don't know if it's any good. Like I said, those may have been in a video or two ago. They may have been in there already. Followed, that one I'm pretty sure I've not covered. Haven't seen it. Trick or Treat. I upgraded the DVD that I got for $1 with a Blu-ray for $1. Just so happens Dollar Tree had this one come in again, but this time I got a Blu-ray of it. So I gave away the DVD and here's the Blu-ray. Haven't watched it still. Someday my life will slow down and maybe I'll get to watch all this stuff. But I'm watching as many of them as I can. Daughters of Satan. It's a Tom Selleck movie. This is another one from Shout Factory. Said get it before it's gone. So there it is. So I like Tom Selleck anyway. Let's see. I'm going to save those. Bloodorama triple feature. I got this because I'm a big fan of the movie Carnival of Blood. However, it does say on the back, preservations made from the only known film elements in existence. Please approach the technical quality of the source material with empathy. Well, I didn't expect perfection, but I was hoping to get a better copy of Carnival of Blood than what I had on DVD. The Something Weird video DVD I've had forever, and it's not bad. But I was kind of hoping, well, I'll get one in high definition, maybe it'll be a little bit better. It's not. It's much worse, folks. It's horrible. There's key parts of dialogue missing that are probably from my favorite part of the movie. They're gone, just because the film is so chopped up, and I don't know. I'm disappointed with this release. I've never had an AGFA film release, so this being my first video, there's a lot of people, you know, go on about their stuff, and the releases seem to get generally positive reviews from the other reviewers on YouTube that I watch. But and I haven't seen these other two movies, but I think they're similar in technical quality, so maybe digging up old DVD copies of these movies might be better than spending money on this. I got this for around 20 bucks, but some websites sell it for around 30. So if you absolutely feel like you have to have this, please do a little shopping around first. To me, this was a disappointment. I'm sorry to say. I like the fact they're trying to preserve these films, but the film elements, I almost would rather they just, I don't know how they would do it, but just make copies off the old DVDs if they can get rights to those copies, and then try and, you know, put those in high definition. Because now I'm probably going to be continuing to watch my DVD more than I watch this, to watch Carnival of Blood, because again, this has stuff missing and it's really bad shape. So I'm really disappointed. Like I said, I didn't expect perfection, but I was hoping for something a little better than the copy I already had, and I didn't get that at all, not even close. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I have not ever had a copy of this film, and this is an out-of-print Anchor Bay version that I got off of eBay at a somewhat reasonable price compared to what I've seen some people try to sell it for. And I rewatched it, and I actually forgot how much I liked it. It's actually a good little Christmas slasher movie. I know it's very controversial, but I actually enjoyed this, so if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. Another Dollar Tree pickup, Ill, Final Contagium, The Infected Will Find You. So basically, I guess people get infected and they turn into zombies or something. That's what a lot of movies are. Same plot as a lot of movies, so who knows if this one does anything creative with that plot or not, or does it any better than anyone else. I doubt it, but hope I get $1's worth out of it anyway. Alright, let's see. Next up, I'm going to give you a set of 4 of these here. I'm not sure which order these came out in. I think it might be this order. Amityville 1992, It's About Time, Christmas present. And I enjoyed that one quite a bit. The Evil Escapes, I really enjoyed that one as well. Then you got Amityville: A New Generation and Amityville Dollhouse. Now, while it's kind of fun to watch those films, I don't like them as much as the original two. The original 2 Amityvilles were probably my favorites out of the ones I've seen. I did finally get this Phantasm 1 and 2 copy. They had to recall it though because it had the wrong discs in it. The Phantasm 1 wasn't the remastered version with the Dolby anamorphic sound or whatever, which I don't have a sound system that accommodates that, so that wasn't as big a deal. But the thing that was a big deal is Phantasm 2. The main reason I bought this set was to get the unrated director's cut of Phantasm 2, and the one that originally came with it was the R-rated cut, which I already have on DVD. I was looking to upgrade it. I wasn't going to upgrade Phantasm 2 unless I was able to get an uncut version, and that Sphere set was really expensive, and I really didn't want to upgrade all the Phantasm movies. Granted, that is probably one of my favorite running film series of all time, more so than some of the other more popular ones, because I've loved all the Phantasms. But I did finally get my replacement disc a couple months later in December, and here it is with the correct discs in it and a big poster of the artwork of the first movie, which is basically this one right here. So again, this has been a childhood favorite of mine that's been a favorite for many years. I love it. So if you have not seen the Phantasm movies, I can't say enough good things about them because, you know, a lot of it's nostalgia for me because I grew up watching that when I was a kid. Before I was even 10 years old, I saw the first Phantasm. So, George Romero's Diary of the Dead. I think this is the one that I mentioned I did not have. I think that was one that was missing. I did finally get a copy of it. So now I've got I believe, all of George Romero's Dead movies, finally. The Forest, I watched this, and this gets a lot of bad reviews, but actually I enjoyed it quite a bit. That's the slip. The artwork here, I think, is the same. But it was part of a sale on Kino Lorber, and I got that much cheaper than I'd ever seen it for. Ditto this one, The Devil's Wedding, another Code Red release, just like The Forest. And I enjoyed this one quite a bit as well. So I would recommend you check this one out. Crimes of the Black Cat. This is my first Cauldron release, and I was fairly impressed with the quality. There's a place or two where there's like a hair hung up in the film, which I think wasn't inherent in the original film. I think it's something that they could have maybe cleaned out. But other than that one little glitch, everything here looks really good. So I was very impressed. And this is supposedly a lost giallo that never got a lot of attention, and I actually found it to be pretty engaging. I actually liked it quite a bit, so you might go ahead and check out the Crimes of the Black Cat. I think I might have said The Curse. It's The Crimes of the Black Cat. So this is a follow-up, sometimes called Grim Reaper 2. It's I don't know if it's a true sequel or not, but to The Grim Reaper, or Anthropophagus is the other title it's known as. Absurd. And it had a sticker on it when I bought it. Apparently it's a limited edition because it has this soundtrack disc with it. So, never seen this, so I don't know how good the music is, but I usually like soundtrack discs. I usually like music, especially from the Italian horror films, especially. I like those, the music is in those movies, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Okay, finally got Demons 2. I've had Demons forever and I like Demons. Demons 2 was good, but I didn't like it near as much as the first one. I know a lot of people like both of them. I don't know if I like Demons 2 as much as most people do, but I did enjoy it. I didn't get to watch this one very closely. I kind of had it on and I kept getting distracted, so I need to watch it again, so I can't really give you an honest review of it. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maggie, I think basically his daughter starts turning into a zombie, I believe is what that's about. This is one I saw as a preview on another Blu-ray that I had. This one's called The Age of Dinosaurs. It's got Treat Williams and Ronnie Cox. I'm a big Ronnie Cox fan, and I like Treat Williams as well. So I was looking forward to watching this. The CGI in this, it's from the Asylum, so you kind of know what you're getting, but the CGI is even worse than I thought it would be. So this isn't quite as good as I kind of hoped it would be, but it's not what not much different from what I expected, if that makes any sense. But I did enjoy it, but be prepared, it's really low budget and the CGI is not very good at all. This might have been made for TV, I'm not sure. But, you know, the performances are fine. It's just the dinosaur footage looks pretty unrealistic. But it's still fun, so. Now, I never seen the British version of this movie called The Lift. And this is an American version called The Shaft, also known as Down, which is the title it was released under, about a killer elevator. And this movie I really enjoyed quite a bit. Even more than, I don't hear a lot about this one. I'll warn you, some websites sell this for, especially one of the real popular ones, sells this for a lot of money. And if you look around a little bit, and you don't have to look very hard, you can find it much cheaper, which is what I did. So, a few more here, folks. Quite a few more. I'll try to go a little faster. Alone in the Dark, Jack Palance movie, went out of print on DVD, was selling for ridiculous prices. Saw this at the drive-in when I was a kid with my dad, and I've always loved this movie. Just for whatever reason, I was never able to get hold of a copy of it, so now I've got it. I watched it again and still love it. Homebodies, the movie that I waited decades, literally, for this to come out on a disc of some format. I had not seen this since before I was 10 years old, and the VHS, of course, was out of print. And then it never came out on DVD. Lo and behold, Kino Lorber finally released a Blu-ray, and I got this for Christmas. This was at the very top of my wish list, so I was extremely happy to get this. And if you haven't seen Homebodies, it is kind of got dark humor. It does kind of have dark humor in it, but it's a really creepy movie. It's rated PG, but you got to remember it's a PG from the 70s. The PG from the 70s can contain all kinds of stuff that you can't even see in a PG-13 nowadays. So it's pretty raw. It's pretty extreme for what it is. Psychos in Love. I'd never heard of this movie. I had never seen it, heard anything about it, but I read the synopsis. It's been on my wish list for a while, and I finally just picked it up. I switched the cover art. That's the other cover art that's usually on the front of the box. It's behind the disc anyway. But this movie was very funny. And it is pretty brutal as far as on the gore side goes, but it's I tell you, I don't remember the last time I laughed this much at a movie that was kind of a horror comedy mix, and I don't usually like comedic horror that much, but this one really worked. I really liked it. It's extremely low budget. Some people will say, oh, that's stupid. That's a cheap piece of crap. Why would anybody watch that? It's horrible. Worst movie I've ever seen. I can entirely see somebody saying that. I will respectfully disagree with you. I think for what this is, it is an awful lot of fun. Blood and Black Lace by Mario Bava. This is another one that's been on my wish list for a very long time. And I've got several Mario Bava movies now, and so I'm trying to get caught up on Mario Bava while I'm still around on the earth to try to watch all of his films, and I've only seen a handful. And apparently this is one that's pretty highly regarded, and Arrow did a great job. It looks and sounds really great. I think this has, I don't know, no, it doesn't have a soundtrack. Yep. No, it doesn't. I thought maybe it did. But anyway, it's got 3 discs in it. I think it's feature and extras on DVD, and then there's extras on Blu-ray too. So I don't know what the difference is between the 3 discs. I just watched the first disc, I watched the feature, and anyway, Bava fans, this is worth picking up. Or if you're not a Bava fan, that may be good enough to make you one, because he definitely has a style. Another one that I've waited for a very long time, and this was next to probably Homebodies. This was the one that was number 2 on my list to get. My wife picked it up for me. Eyes of Fire. Got this off of the Severin website because at the time Amazon wasn't selling it yet. They may be now. If not, they will be soon. But you could only get it from the Severin website at first for a while. So I switched the cover art around to the original cover art that I was familiar with. I prefer this cover art, even though the newly commissioned artwork is actually quite good. But anyway, you know, I get nostalgic because I'm old compared to a lot of you all that do these videos and review these movies. You young people, I envy you. You're gonna have a lot more years to watch a lot more movies than I am. And you know, movies will be made long after we're gone, I'm sure. However, they're not really so much to theaters these days. It's getting kind of sparse out there. So hopefully they keep churning out old stuff on Blu-ray and DVD that I missed the first time around. Because otherwise you run out of things to watch. Of course, you know, you got everything at your fingertips on the internet now, streaming and whatnot. So you probably wouldn't run out of things to watch. But so I think some of the best movies have already been made. So I really like discovering old movies. This one's called Don't Let Them In. It's $1 movie from Dollar Tree. Ditto this one, Soul Reaper. Don't know anything about it. There, y'all didn't get a very good look at that one. There you go. A Ouija Geist. Not expecting much here, but you know, sometimes the ones that you don't expect much from turn out to be some of the better ones. Another $1. This one's $1. Before I'm Dead. Sounds interesting, but again, if I don't get my dollar's worth out of it, I'll either give it away or maybe I can trade it in for something I do want. But chances are, if it was at Dollar Tree, that all the stores around here that take used DVDs probably have plenty of those in stock because everybody else is probably taking them there already. Psycho 3. I forgot how much I enjoyed this. This is actually still a solid sequel. I mean, the second one I thought was amazing, and this one I think is almost, maybe just as good. I liked it just as much, I think. If not, it was real close. But anyway, and it's got Ray Liotta, who I think this is one of his first big roles. And so he does a great job in this. He plays a creepy guy, as he oftentimes got typecast portraying as somebody who's a creepy guy, and he's definitely that. At least in the movie. Carrie 3-film collection. I really wanted a copy of The Rage, Carrie 2, so I had to rebuy a movie I already had, Carrie, and then to boot I got the TV remake from 2002. And this is a pretty nice set, and it's very reasonably priced. I wish that this was still available on Blu-ray, The Rage, Carrie 2, that is. It was a Shout Factory release that went out of print, of course. That's a story you've heard me tell many times. But anyway, yeah, the discs are just kind of put in here like this. And that Rage Carrie 2, unfortunately, is one of those double-sided discs, and you know, this isn't my favorite way to store movies. They tend to get a little scratched and whatnot, but anyway, they play fine. Some more dollar movies here. Dollface. Accidentally picked up a second copy of this, forgot that I'd already picked it up, so I gave it to my nephew. So I don't know if it's any good or not, so you can always pass it around to somebody else to be victimized by it, or use it as a drink coaster. Or make it a projectile and you can, you know, shoot it or something. So I don't know, it might be good. You never know about those. Lured, another dollar movie. Sounds interesting. The cover art looks pretty enticing. Blue Call. That one looks interesting too. Sometimes the cover art is the best thing about the movie, and that's sad when that happens. So, again, it's $1. I don't expect a lot. Dark Whispers. Cover art looks great. Guess we'll find out about the movie someday. Alright, I am down to think I'm down to my last 3. Yep, down to my last 3. Let's do another Blu-ray. This is another one that was high on my list for Christmas. My nephew bought for me. Paul Naschy in Orgy of the Living Dead, also known as the Hanged Woman or the Hanging Woman. I'm trying to remember about the exact title. I don't remember it exactly. But I think it might be called The Hanging Woman. And that's what it was called when I saw it on VHS many years ago. And this looks a lot better. This was put out by Full Moon. They're starting to put out some of these Euro horrors, and apparently that's kind of their new trend, and they're getting some of the titles that the other companies haven't released yet. So I'm glad to see that they're doing that, because I'll probably be have my eye out for more of those. This one is one that's been on my list forever, and I just finally picked it up. The heavy metal horror classic Black Roses. I love that metallic cover there, where the lettering is silver, or the band is silver and then the lettering is silver there. That metallic look, it's a nice cover. I like it. Why this has not got a Blu-ray release from Synapse, I don't know. Synapse has kind of backed off on releasing new films. The last thing I know of that they released was a wonderful release, actually. It was the Hot Dog, the movie, on Blu-ray, which was the unrated producer's cut, which was a little better, had a little more stuff in it than the original R-rated movie. And that was one of my favorite movies, and with the Blu-ray that they put out, it was a widescreen cut instead of a full frame. So now that we have widescreen TVs, full frame movies don't look very good on them. So a lot of my full frame movies I'm trying to upgrade if I can. A lot of them have never been re-released yet, or maybe never will be, so I hold on to them. Last one, The Day of the Living Dead. Well, we had Night of the Living Dead, so how about 40, 50 years later we come up with The Day of the Living Dead. Probably nowhere near as good. It's a Echo Bridge release. Again, $1. Just based on what I'm looking at on the back. I always hate to say this. I'm not expecting much, but, you know, it's true. It's probably in the dollar bin for a reason, you know? But hopefully, you know, hopefully you get $1's worth out of it, you know? I mean, they have to mess up pretty bad if you don't at least get $1's worth out of it, because, you know, $1 ain't that much in this day and age. So anyway, so that's it. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I was stumbling over my words a lot, but I'm not going to redo this video. Hopefully you like it as it stands, and hopefully you will continue to watch, and hopefully we'll get more people to watch. The more people that watch, the more motivated I am to do videos more often. But, you know, also you get to a point where you need to find space for your collection. So I either need a bigger place, or I need to watch some of these dollar movies and see which ones are crap and get rid of them so I have room for the stuff I actually want to keep. So if I only paid $1 for it, I don't mind letting go of it too badly. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and hope y'all are getting time to watch some movies, and hopefully you can share some thoughts with me on something you've seen. But anyway, take care. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a good night.